Episode 1, Week 1 of the 2020 video logs. A quick reminder of the setup. The Tesla app is on the advanced setting on cost saving, and this is how we have set up the off-peak, the peak and the partial peak to make the most of the Agile tariff. The car mileage is up to 2,053 miles. Which gives us a total of 192 miles for the week. And the total miles to date will also be 192 this week. The solar generation this week, so the meter reading is 29013. So we'll put that into the table. Another simple one here. Which gives us a generated kilowatt hour reading of 24 for the week, and that'll go on the total as well. We've not had a fit payment yet, so that'll be 0. The Tesla app and also my solar inverter data is exactly the same, around about 23.9 kilowatt hours. We've used most of that energy, but 1.56, which normally would go back to the grid, has gone into the my energy diverter. The smart meter import reading of 3,037 kilowatt hours, which should give us a total used for the week of 446 kilowatt hours, and that'll go on the total to date as well. I'm not able to put the costs in yet, and that's simply because I haven't got them yet. As soon as they come in, we'll put them into the table. And as you can see from the Tesla app, 454 kilowatt hours on the Tesla app, but 446 on the smart meter. So we've still got a difference on the import. But from the Powerwall, 89.3 kilowatt hours that came from the Powerwall, and the home usage was 466 kilowatt hours. And that breaks down as the following. On Monday, the home usage was 59.3 kilowatt hours. From the solar, we pulled in 5.8 kilowatt hours, and we took out of the Powerwall 15 kilowatt hours, and obviously we're still charging that from the grid at cheap rates. And from the grid, 53.2 kilowatt hours, and we sent back 0.1 kilowatt hours. On Tuesday, 61.5 kilowatt hours for the home usage, 4.3 kilowatt hours from the solar. We got 13.6 out of the Powerwall. I don't think the Powerwall fully discharged before it recharged. And from the grid was 59.2 kilowatt hours with 0.1 kilowatt hours going back to the grid. On Wednesday, 81.7 kilowatt hours was the home usage, 4 kilowatt hours for the solar, 12.9 from the Powerwall, and from the grid we pulled 79.3 kilowatt hours with 0.1 going back to the grid. On Thursday, 67.8 kilowatt hours was the home usage. The solar was a very poor day at 0.8 kilowatt hours. 13.3 kilowatt hours came from the Powerwall. Obviously the Powerwall isn't topping up from the solar, so that's the reason why that's pretty low. And 69 kilowatts from the grid with nothing going back. On Friday, 66.4 kilowatt hours home usage. The solar was 3.8 kilowatt hours. From the Powerwall was 11.8 kilowatt hours, and this is because we didn't use much energy in the evening, so the the powerwall still had energy in it before recharging, and we pulled 60.4 kilowatt hours from the grid and 0.1 back to the grid. And on Saturday, the 4th of January, 74.9 kilowatts was the home usage, 2.8 from the solar, 12.5 from the Powerwall, and 72.8 kilowatt hours drawn from the grid, with 0.1 kilowatt hours going back. And finally, on the Sunday, 54.4 kilowatt hours was the home usage. The solar was 2.4 kilowatt hours, and we only pulled 10.2 from the Powerwall. Again, we didn't fully discharge the Powerwall, so the central heating hasn't been kicking in as much, as January's been quite mild. And 55.6 kilowatt hours from the grid with nothing going back. And finally, the gas for the week, we used 9.54 kilowatt hours. Again, as soon as I get the costs of all the utility, I'll put them straight into the table.